Snowden on the call.
Yes, I am.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Congratulations. Went back to your alma mater and got a victory over the weekend against Southern. If you could talk a little bit about that, and then you head to Bama State. Talk about what you've seen from the Hornets, and we'll open it up for questions.
Well, it was a great ball game for not only me but for the Prairie View A&M University program. In my opinion, a lot of people wanted to make it out to be like Stump and I were playing one-on-one against each other, and not the two football teams from the respective universities. So it was a good team win. Our special teams came up big late. We were able to run the ball a little bit in the fourth quarter, which is always important. And we got some very important 3-and-outs and kept pressure on the quarterback throughout the whole night. So I thought that was a big thing for our team. Moving on to next week, like I told the guys, we don't get a ring for that win on Saturday night, so we have to quickly refocus playing against the number one team in black college football. The number one team on the western side, and it's another conference game, and we look forward to making that long bus ride and going over and compete. I see some great players on the offense side of the ball and the defense. Like I say, we're going to have our hands full trying to contain Jenkins, and then Nick Andrews, and I like McWilliams a whole lot because he keeps the chains moving, and on defense, they got some ball hawks over there, so we got to be careful with everything that we do. Make sure that we take care of the football and try to get the football back from those guys as well.
We'll open it up for questions for head coach Northern from Prairie View A&M. Coach, the second game of the year that your kickers hit kind of a last-second field goal. Do these close games start to worry you a little bit?
Not when you win them. I tell you what, I always kid the guys about. We keeping the blood pressure medication companies in business around here because we can't seem to put teams away. But it's also a tribute to the other teams in the conference. And like I say, we can't talk about parity enough. But it's just we practice scenarios a whole lot, and in particular on Thursdays, and we work on our 4-minute offense. And we got the ball back with I think 4 minutes and 10 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, and we ran it down until I think it was 10 seconds left in the ball game when we kicked the final field goal to win it. And it's just a testament to our offensive line, our running backs, our receivers that made some key blocks, and the turnover that we got to get the ball where we got it. So it was an outstanding team effort at that point. Like I said, I think if they had an all-SWAC honor for deep snappers, I would put my guy in the running because, we haven't had a bad one yet. And, like I always say, good snap, good hold, good kick. And that's exactly what happened to win the ball game for us.
Yeah, Coach, this is Roscoe Nance. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, sir.
Good. You talked about having your hands full with Jenkins. What is it about him that makes him so difficult, and how much of a difference has he made for Alabama State's offense?
Well, he gives you some mobility. Dominguez was a little bit not as agile. He could move around some, but I think he moved a little bit more to find some space to throw. With this kid, he can beat you running the football, in my opinion. But he stays active. He puts pressure on your defensive line to be disciplined in their pass rush. And if you blitz somebody, he can pull it down and make some people miss. But I look at a lot of similarities in their offense and ours, and they do what I call they make one guy serve two masters, whether they is a defensive lineman on a midline option or whether it's a end rush or a blitzer coming off the edge on his own read. They're gonna make somebody serve two masters, and we all know that's impossible.
Well, how different are they from a year ago with him?
Well, I think the scheme is totally different, to be honest with you. Last year was more of a vertical passing game. This year, you see a lot more screens, a lot more slant routes, quick outs, curl flat combination, where all before it was maybe a lot of goals and corner routes, digs and post type of thing. So, and it makes it easier on the quarterback. To me, it's more of a college-friendly, a quarterback-friendly offense as opposed to a vertical stretch offense. But both of them have their places, and I think he's good because he can beat you running if that first or second option is not there.
So discipline on the part of the defensive line, that's going to be the key?
Discipline on a part of the whole defense. I mean, it's not just the defensive line, because when you have to deal with Nick and McWilliams, you got your hands full either way, and they have an outstanding running back, in my opinion, with the field being so spread. If the running back makes one guy miss, and now he's quickly up on the secondary players in a hurry. So it's a total scheme thing. I know, Coach Kice, their offense coordinator, coached me in college, and he's always done an outstanding job of getting his players in place to make plays, and hopefully we can do something to neutralize their playmakers.
Okay, Coach, thanks.
You're welcome.
Coach, Ken Rashad, TSPN Sports. How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
Good. When you look at the game, 1 o'clock start on Saturday, and given the distance that your team has to travel, literally crossing 3 straight lines, how does that affect your schedule for this week, and when will your team depart for Montgomery?
Well, the easiest part of that is we'll depart on Thursday night after practice. We'll practice from 4 to about 5:30. We'll have a team dinner, and then we'll have a film session. And we'll get on the bus about 10 o'clock. We have to fill out a waiver with the NCAA to leave that early. But we've already planned for this. I told my guys last spring when we did our fall football, our class schedules, to schedule as many Tuesday, Thursday classes as possible, because we have 6 road games in a row. But I think it's sort of traditionally been when the Alabama schools come to Houston or the Houston schools go to Alabama, it's an earlier start to give both schools a chance to get back in a timely manner, because if we played a Saturday night game, we wouldn't make it back literally until Monday morning. So, and we don't have the luxury of flying over there. So, but preparation doesn't change much, just the leaving out does. And when we get to the hotel on Friday, we won't have a walkthrough. We have basically like a yoga type stretch session. That's the only thing that we do differently.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Coach, Perrin Hughes from the Advocate over here in Baton Rouge. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay. Number one, congratulations, obviously, on the win. Number two, looking forward, the team you play this week has done a pretty dang on good job as far as first. And obviously, as well as you guys have played, that's maybe one area where you can come up short. What do you do to make sure that you, don't find yourself on the wrong end real quick?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I think if we could all figure that out, we'd sell it to coaches everywhere. But the biggest thing is just going in and selling down and playing your game and not being overwhelmed by where you are. That's one of the things I talk to my guys about. We have to thrive on being in a hostile environment, and don't let it overwhelm you, because when you go in a place, I know there's going to be a lot of people there. They're having a lot of success, and it's a whole different ball game when you're going into people's home stadium and having to try to pull out a tough victory.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, one thing, Perrin, while I'm on the call, I may be out of line for saying this, but the article that you wrote last week about me coming home and my mom not being there, I thought that was a great article. I got several calls about it. I actually had more than one person say that they cried after reading the article, so I thought you did an outstanding job, and I want to personally say thank you. I know a lot of times in the media, as coaches, we get criticized pretty often by you guys, but I just want to say thank you for doing a good job, and thank you for what you do for Southern and their football program, and like I say, for me as a college football coach as well, I just want to publicly say thank you.
Right, bro, I appreciate it. Thanks, Coach.
Yes.
Coach, how's Lovelock's health?
It's okay. To be honest with you, he probably could have played last week, but I didn't think Trost was, I'd probably give him a C+, maybe B grade. So, I didn't want to put Jerry out there and sort of mess up the flow of the game. And like I say, I don't look at who's playing during the game unless somebody's just playing real bad. So, I thought Trost did. He started off, I think, 6 for 6 or 7 for 7, and then we hit a rough spot. It was about 15 to 20 mile per hour winds, and I think a couple times he just rushed some throws. But overall, I thought he did a good job moving the chains. We just couldn't connect on some of the deep balls, and a lot of that you have to attribute to Southern's secondary did an outstanding job as well, not going for some of the play fakes that we were running, some of the pumps and things like that.